Greetings, ani, bojo, kwe kwe. It's Catherine here at Moonstarlodge in Central Ontario, bringing you the Indigenous perspective on cartomancy, and we do Indigenous spirituality, arts, and education, and we're into our 42nd year. So this week we are discussing the fourth quarter of the moon cycle, Loves All Things. We've just had that wild full moon, and I needed to sleep for several days. So the upside of that is I'm feeling not too bad today. The downside of that is it means we're well into the halfway point of July. So this is the 10th to the 16th, as I said, and we are then moving on the 17th into the next new moon, which we'll get to next week. So this week, I'm using the Oracle of Mystical Moments. I hope I've got that centered. The Oracle Tarot by Lucy Cavendish. By the way, the Mystical Moments series is Catherine Weiss Stein. I've been working with them all week. The Voices of the Souls Oracle, again, Isabella Surf, and a personal favorite. The Isis Oracle. I wasn't going to use the Isis Oracle until I put this crystal crown on my head, and if I get right off in woo-woo land, we can thank Melissa at Wand and Cauldron in Midland for bringing this on. This I may not even get through this reading still wearing this, because between the wand from Melissa and this crown, so because I put this on, Isis showed up okay. And you don't say no to Isis. Isis, if she wants to show up, you just let her. The Queen of the Moon Oracle, brand new to me, I've been waiting for this, is the True Oracle of Nostradamus by Travis McHenry, a very prolific author. This was a Kickstarter, and I'm in love all over again. Gordon Smith's The Healing Spirits. I've used this in a few readings weekly. Here's the Tarot of Mystical Moments by Catherine Weiss Stein. And the bemusing, little gentle-looking, sweet characters on here are not to be misjudged as just fluff. They are anything but. The subconscious is incredibly triggered by the Jungian aspects. And finally, for the ancestors, I told the Marigold Tarot it had to stay in the bag this week. I decided to bring out the Archeo Personal Archetype cards by Nick Bantock, and the ancestors are represented by that. So the new format is we have the weekly video from the Monday to the Sunday, and then midweek on Wednesday night I release a second video, which we call the icing on the cake, because we all make changes collectively. This is a collective reading, and so we need to sometimes fine-tune the message of the week, because we've had 3 or 4 full days to really shift things around, especially in a fourth quarter, when in our Indigenous traditions we are meant to not plant anything. We weed, we deadhead, we get rid of, we burn off, that sort of thing. We don't plant anything. We are getting rid of that which no longer serves our physical gardens on the earth, but also the gardens of our souls. And so I invite you, actually, if you can hang in there till the end of the video, I've got a couple of announcements and surprising things to discuss, for which I need input from my community. So without further ado, Brian, let's go to the cards. So This first row is from the Tarot of Mystical Moments. I have included reversed cards this week. That doesn't mean negative, that's just a gentle warning to be aware of something that could potentially be a bad choice. And then I've got one of each of the other clarifiers up here. So we're starting out with the moon, our beloved moon. It's very much a Pisces kind of week. The moon is in Pisces today as I do this. So, you know, emotionally I feel good because my sun, my moon, and Venus are in Pisces in my natal chart. So this is a day to be aware of the illumination of shadows, but particularly of intuition. My sense of it is the intuition here is important. And how I know that is the clarifier is the perfect key. So this clarifier is the sister deck to this deck. And so it's the perfect key to unlock a lot of mysteries, a lot of downloads from spirit. A lot of these cards this week do talk about reunion with or downloads from our spiritual connection to soul and source, which is not separate from us. So here's the first reversed and one of two reversed cards. It's the King of Cups. What we have to be careful with moon energy is not to let the King of Cups, which is air and water, become emotionally abusive, perhaps entangled too much, enabling, co-adaptive, tantrum-like. We need to watch if we're being triggered by something in our environment, internally or externally, to not take on the King of Cups, because this is a damage-producing king when he's in reverse. He's emotionally abusive. He will use silence, the silent treatment. He will gaslight. There's a lot of things narcissistic about the King of Cups in reverse. So this isn't necessarily a person in our environment, but it could be. It could be our own attributes, and it could be somebody we know who is impacting us. So since this is a collective reading, we will each be the judge of whether this is an external to us person or whether this is an internal process. It's clarified by follow our dreams. So the following of the dreams comes up from this moon card, and the dreams here are the key, the perfect key. So we have to not let this distract us, whether it's an internal thing or an external thing. It's followed by the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles on his beautiful horse here made of palm leaves. This one is planting his gardens. He's methodical. He or she, in this case it's a she. She's planting her gardens. She takes one step at a time. The horse is very careful not to step on the plants. What we are planting will be able to be harvested because we are being methodical and not running off doing things. It's clarified by the ancestor card, which is the archeo ancestor here, and the word here is awakener. Spirit is calling to us. It's awakening us to other action. It's a spiritual awakening. It's not a physical awakening. The Four of Pentacles is about stability, feeling that we've got successfully all that we need to acquire. We're holding on to our money, our house, or home. We're feeling stable. We can feel a little stuck Energy is meant to flow and come and go. If it stays static and locked away, it becomes dormant energy. So we do have feelings of stability, and we need to recognize that they will be in flow because we have reunion. This is a soul card, and this soul card is about a reconnection with our soul. The spirit guide message for this card is also about spirit guides have been trying to connect with us, for they put something on our doorstep literally a year ago, so this card says. So we are awakening here and here to something that started a year ago and is now coming to fruition. Now what's interesting about this Mystical Moments Tarot is there is a King of Cups in a female form. So these are not gendered cards in the standard way. This King of Cups came out right, or upright. So now that I'm stuttering and stammering, I have to take off my crown because, wow, I won't make a lot of sense. There, we'll put that just right there. So the King of Cups as a female form is about the blending of the emotional maturity and the ability to literally be like the rock on water, stable and secure. What's interesting is we have Isis right above this card, and she is divine destiny. She is the path of the divine warrior. If you know about Isis, she was able to raise the dead. She was a priestess in the Temple of Hathor, I believe, and she was not only that, but she was the physician. So she was a metaphysician, an actual physician, and a priestess, and a divine warrior. So this is divine destiny. Everything that had started a year ago, everything that we've been working toward, and now it's shifting into gear again, starting here with some intuitive nudges. We've got the stability of this king to take us forward. And forward we will go with great speed, because here's the Eight of Wands. So it's spiritually inspired, passionate movement. It's coming quickly, and it's coming quickly as we clear out and deadhead the things that no longer serve us. The spirit card here is this is the perfect time. So the seed that was sown is coming. It's coming. We've worked hard. The Page of Swords in reverse is all about scholarly knowledge and being careful of our words. So when it's in reverse, it's a warning to make sure you do due diligence. Hold on to the Knight of Pentacles concept here, and be careful that you're doing your research and your due diligence to move this forward successfully. The card that clarifies it is the Snow Moon card, which talks about purity. It's also saying that what's coming in alignment for the Snow Moon, which is in January, whatever we're doing now comes to fruition in its purest form in January. So the final card, this Oracle of Nostradamus, is card 34, and it's endurance, and it's about strenuous effort. It came in upright, and it's about endurance and virtue. Now virtue would be in the reversed, and it came up in the upright position. So we'll talk about endurance here. You can flip the camera, Brian. So when my left brain wanted to get rid of Isis because she didn't seem to fit, I'm glad I had my crown on there. Thanks, Melissa, because that's the perfect kind of energy that fits in with this reading today. I think we're on a good track. Again, this is clarifying that we've been on a track, but there's been a latency period or a dormancy period, because the spirit guides were very clear that we're back on track with our connection to soul. And the soul is what talks about the reunion. So we're not in a space of what is called spiritual narcolepsy, to coin a phrase from, call it Baron Reed. We're back on track. We're in alignment with Source because the awakener has shown up. It's divine, divine destiny. There's a lot here that's happening for all of us. So we need to stay awake at the wheel. We need to stay in our lane. We need to recognize this as manifestation. So I will use this same grouping of cards and make a midweek video, which you will see Wednesday at 6 p.m. In the meantime, I wanted to talk about a suggestion made by my dear, dear old friend, Philomene. And she was hoping I might consider doing some individual astrological readings, and to do a reading, you know, for Aries, for Aquarius, for Pisces, for the whole, you know, the whole zodiac. And that's something that I will try for the month of August and September. But I won't bother if I don't hear from each of you. If this is something that you think that you would like, what I would do is put the first three, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini on one day, and then we would put out 4 videos that way for a week. It would be the astrological reading for a month at a time. So we won't be inundating you. We couldn't possibly take on that much work. But I'm going to try it, and if it helps us with our numbers, people who actually subscribe and like the videos, it's worth the time and energy to carry this on. Because I love astrology and I love the connection with numerology, and I will bring all of that into those individual zodiac sign readings. And I wanted to talk about some decks in the near future. In particular, and I'm looking at you, Heather, the Medieval Mischief Tarot by Ricardo Gil Ferraro. This is seems to be getting hard to get, but it's got a blooper on one of the cards, the Page of Wands, but the book is correct. It's the card, it's the sigil on the card, one of the sigils that's wrong. We'll be talking about the Art Magic deck, which is very inexpensive, but it's fabulous if you are trying to look at magical ways of jump-starting your creative practice. And that creative practice can be anything from watercolors to anything, carving, whatever your practice. Plus, I want to do a deep dive into this oracle, true oracle of Nostradamus. All right, leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to get the notifications, particularly in light of the fact that if I do these astrological videos, you would want to be notified in a timely way about your particular sign. So a subscription costs nothing. It's just you hit the bell underneath the picture of the video. And Brian will provide links to how you can send me a coffee so I can keep going. And thanks for all your suggestions and comments. I really love them and appreciate you all. Aho miigwech.